Welcome back, Fabrication Nation. This is going to be a video over the power source in my shop. There's been a lot of discussion about the three-phase that I have in my shop, and I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about electricity. I know enough to hook up some machines. I know enough to not hurt myself. But when it comes to heavy machinery and the different types of three phases and the volts and everything else, it can get really complicated. So I just wanted to do a quick video over the three-phase in my shop. I have a multimeter here, and I'm going to show everybody exactly the power source that I have, what I'm working with. I'd like any feedback that anybody can provide me, or may be able to help me in the future with other machines. But as of right now, I've been able to hook up all of my machines pretty much myself. I've done some research and some reading on the proper way to hook up some machines, and it's gotten me by. But as you seen in my last video with the American Hercules, it's just a whole different animal. It requires a lot more power, and it's probably something that I really don't feel comfortable messing with. I'll end up getting a licensed electrician out here to hook this up properly. But I thought this would be informational for everybody else to see what kind of power I'm dealing with, and the difference between three-phase and single-phase power.
All right, I'll bring you in so you can take a look at what we're working with here. Now, keep in mind this power is very, very outdated. They don't even make the breakers for these anymore. Everything does need to be upgraded, but this is what we're working with as of right now. So this center box here is the main power source. It's where the three-phase power comes in, and I'll open that up so you can take a look. So that's a monster there. That's nothing you want to play with. You can see right there is the three-phase lines. You got 3 hots and then 1 neutral, and you can see just how thick those wires are. Then you come down to the fuse, and you've got 3 huge fuses there. If you look right back in there, that's a neutral that's grounded in there. And then if you look down here, you've got 3 hot legs. You got 1 there, 1 there, and then 1 there. And one thing you might notice is that there are 2 wires coming off of each leg there. So you can see 2 wires there. You only see 1 wire connected there, and then you see another 2 right back there. And the reason for that is that this splits off. One side, if you go this way, splits off into three-phase, your three-phase box there. And then your other side splits off on over back here, and that's your single phase 210, 220 box there. So for your three-phase, you're going to have all 3 wires coming over to this box, and for your 220 box, you're only going to have 2 wires coming over to this box. And we'll talk about this box first, because this is going to be a lot more similar to what you would have in a home. But you've got 2 wires here, and those will go down into these breakers, and this is where you get your 220 power from, or your 110. And the way that works is that if you want 110, you only hook up 1 breaker and 1 wire, like this one right here. So you've got 1 breaker and you've got 1 wire hooked up there. So that would be a 110 outlet. And over here, you've got a double breaker and you've got 2 wires, and that would give you 220. So why would you need one over the other? And I'll give you an example. All right, so here's an example why you would need one over the other. So all of that runs over into this box. This is a 220 box. And this is, you can actually run 3-phase on this, but since it's only powering a 220 machine, I'm only going to be utilizing 2 of the wires there. But if you take 1 wire and you run it off to the side, now you have this 110 outlet. And you can run a fan or a light or a grinder or a radio, whatever you want off of it. So we went all the way from 3-phase to 220 and down to 110. So we have the option of using all 3 power sources in this shop. So it's really beneficial because I have this 110 outlet here. I have my power box or my junction box here, and then I've got this 220 drill press that I run here. So by having 3-phase in the shop, I'm able to run 3 different power sources, and it's just really beneficial whenever you have different kinds of tools here in the shop that require different types of power. Okay, well that's the 220 side, so let's step over here to the 3-phase side. And again, like I said, all this stuff is outdated. The wires look terrible. Nothing is organized like it should be. This is not how a box should look, but this is what we have. So let's talk about the 3-phase. You've got the 3 wires coming in. So you've got 1, 2, 3 sitting there. And then you've got that ground coming in as well, and it gets bolted right there. So I say ground, maybe neutral is the proper term. So you got 3 hot legs and then a neutral sitting right there. And then you can notice that these are much bigger breakers that have 3 outlets on them, and that's what's going to produce the 3 phases. All right, well let's get a measurement on here and show you what kind of voltage we're working with. I got the Fluke set up right here next to me. I don't know if I can get a good shot where you can see the voltage, but I'll read it off to you. All right, I'm going to measure the first leg. That's going to be the very top leg, and the neutral. I'll touch the neutral, and that gives us 124.2. Okay, now I'm going to measure the center leg. And that gives us 214.5. And that is the leg that I spoke about being the high leg. This center leg has a higher voltage. There was a lot of debate of whether the voltage would be higher or not, but the Fluke meter says that the center leg is higher. And then the bottom leg, the last leg, is 123.7. Okay, so one more time, top. 124, center, 214, bottom, 123. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the top and the bottom together. It's 247.3. Okay, now I'm going to measure the center and the bottom together. 248.7. Okay, now I'm going to measure the center and the top together. 247.1. So there you go. That's the 3-phase.
All right, well that's the 3-phase in my shop. I hope this was an informational video for you. If you have any advice for me or just a little bit of knowledge, please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Fabrication Nation. Thanks for watching F8N. Go build something.